All right, registration presentation. The definitions of what a registered player are is a registered player and or player shall mean a person whose application for registration with BC Soccer has been validated by BC Soccer or designate for the current playing season. And similarly, a team official shall mean the coach, assistant coach, manager, or other person registered with BC Soccer who oversees the operation of the team. To give some context to this that will help throughout the presentation, a designate or an organization who is able to register a player is our full member youth districts, full member adult leagues, affiliate clubs, as well as associate member adult leagues. And so a player is considered registered by BC Soccer when it's considered registered by any of those organizations. Some key questions that we'll answer in this presentation is when to submit registration, how to submit registration, what do I do when I'm having trouble uploading registration, and what do I do after uploading registration. We do have some full member organizations as guests here, but we also have some club officials, and club officials don't have access to the CRM in the same capacity, but understanding these questions and the processes involved will help you prepare your registration to give to the districts or leagues. So when to upload registration. We do have some very handy manuals, and this was taken from the BC Soccer registration manual, and it gives the deadlines for the registration. So each season and each organization will have its own registration deadlines, and they are to be met for initial registration submissions. So the bulk of what your organization's registration should be in and into BC Soccer by these dates. We do, however, accept registration at any time. So if it's the interior youth district's interior season and June 1st rolls around, the bulk of your registration should be in at that time. However, if there's players registering afterwards, you are always free to submit registration. Lastly, to meet deadlines, we do encourage our youth districts and adult leagues to encourage clubs to get it into them before these dates. That will help you ensure that it's in on time. When is registration required? And we get questions on this a lot. So any player participating with the club or district is required or adult league is required to be registered with BC Soccer. This includes academies, U3s, U4s, tots, minis, etc., and players only participating in training. It's worth noting, I put the asterisk here because we get a lot of questions about insurance, that any activity with improperly registered players is considered unsanctioned. There is an exception also listed in the registration manual, and that players who are trying soccer for purposes of registration, i.e. evaluations, bring a friend day, etc., do not need to be registered by BC Soccer. All these events cannot last longer than 10 calendar days, and they're meant to be one-off. So a player couldn't do multiple bring a friend days, or they couldn't do a few 6-day camps throughout the summer. They would need to be registered if they were doing that. How to upload registration. Some of the organizations here, some of the people here will be familiar with what I'm about to show you, but if you're a club official or you may not have seen the CRM. We do circulate spreadsheets prior to every submission deadline, and that's to be filled out and submitted as that .csv template. Both player and team official uploads must be completed. This is a requirement. Headers in the CSV template must be the exact same as what is distributed by BC Soccer, and they are case sensitive. I think that gets a lot of people. Clubs submit data to districts prior to upload. BC Soccer recommends making transfer of data easier by clubs submitting data to districts on the CRM CSV template. That's a little bit wordy, but essentially what it means is that for districts to make your lives easier, leagues to make your lives easier, when you're accepting registration, give the template that we give you to them, and then they can fill it in. And then the last point, once they have all submitted data to you, the district can consolidate data to one spreadsheet and upload. Loading data. So you'll log in and you'll see the registration tab, and you go to upload player registration. And then step 2 is to select registration submission, select birth date format. birth date formats should be uniform throughout the spreadsheet, and then you click browse and select your document. Once that's complete, you'll hit submit, and it will take you to this page where you can see how many players are being uploaded. And so we recommend that before you hit upload the first time, that you check that the numbers being uploaded match your spreadsheet, because if it doesn't, you're going to get an error. And then you click the drop down bar, choose import all, and then click upload. Results, you will get a green bar saying the upload has been completed successfully if it has, or a red bar saying there was an error in the upload and you must retry. So when you get the red bar, which some of you may be familiar with, is there's ways to troubleshoot. And I suggest these step by step. So the first one is check the player numbers before clicking upload. Sometimes it picks up values in the spreadsheet that may have been put there by accident if it's outside the range of cells that you're trying to upload. So if there's a cell below that the last player that you're trying to upload that has a period or something in it, it's not going to upload properly. Check to see that the file is saved as a .csv, delimited. This gets a lot of organizations who are trying to upload Excel spreadsheets. It won't be accepted. Check the CSV column headers. Again, this is a very common issue. And if you're not sure if you have it right, what I suggest you do is you take the template that's been sent by BC Soccer prior to the registration deadline and copying and pasting the headers over what you have. And then ensure that birth dates are properly formatted. If they're in separate, if they're month, day, year, or if you switch the month and date and there's different formats in the same spreadsheet, it won't go in. If you're troubleshooting certain cells, it will give you feedback on which cells are issues, but it doesn't tell you what those issues are. And so these are the most common solves. If the issue is with district / league and club, ensure that the name is spelled out in full. If you have FC in there, it won't be accepted. It needs to be football club or written how you see it in the CRM. If it says the birth date is not there, it's most likely in the incorrect format. Age level category for youth, only you and then the number should be in the cell. No other information is to be included. Sometimes clubs or districts or leagues will put U6 boys, U6 girls, U6 selects. If those other values are in there, it won't go in. Gender, if you do not spell male or female or non-binary, only M, F, and NB are acceptable values. And then postal codes, only the letter number, or there can be a space in between is accepted. Hyphens will not be accepted. And if it's picking up an American postal code for whatever reason, it won't be accepted. There are helpful guides that can be found on the CRM page of the BC Soccer website. So if you go to our homepage, then member services and CRM, there are some walkthroughs as well as a document that will show you these fixes. And then after the upload. So after the upload, you want to view your summary forms, which is at the same drop-down bar that you go to upload player registration. And then you'll be able to see all the ones that are applicable to the most recent download. It saves all the summary forms as well for you if you need to go back to them. So you just take them, you add it up. It will provide you the dollar amount that's owed. And so you can view that and then you submit a check, or we are accepting electronic funds transfers now. And you provide payment to BC Soccer. And that is my registration presentation.